Hey guys, Jeff Lieber from TurnKey Product Management here, and today we are talking about a topic we hear about a lot. A lot of clients come to us and they say, "I have a seasonal product, and my sales, peak during the summer season if it's an outdoor summer product or whatever, and then they have big drop off, when it's not their peak season once winter hits, or vice versa. Sometimes it's the exact opposite." And there are ways to combat this, and we're going to talk through that today. So number one, if you are in this scenario where you have a seasonal product, it's not a bad thing. We've got some very successful clients that have very seasonal products, but they're multi-million-dollar companies. So it's not like it's impossible to deal with, but you just need to take action and do some things to help diversify your business. We're going to talk about those today. So number one is think about, in the peak season, how can you really maximize that time? And then number two, in the off season, like what do you do for cash flow? What can you do to mitigate your risks, right? So what can you do, just to stay on top of all that? So next thing I want to talk about is number one, when it's in season time. So let's say you're selling, barbecue barbecue accessories for the summer and the outdoor season. So if that's your niche, summer is going to be a huge month relative to, say February or January, something like that, I'm guessing. And so if that's you, when it's in season time, when that's your peak season, you need to plan ahead for that, and you need to do everything you can to maximize the opportunity and get as much sales as possible during that time. So that means trying to forecast how big do you think the season will be. So let's say last year, let's say you did $1 million in sales, just for a round number, during your 3-month peak season of summer in total. Well, what do you think you're going to do this upcoming summer? And you're going to need to plan ahead and order the appropriate amount of inventory to sustain that growth. So hopefully you can forecast, well, it looks like we're about 20 or 25%, bigger than we were last year. So I would assume, hopefully we'll do the same amount, or do, 25% more than last year. So but make sure to look at those factors and come up with as accurate of inventory projections as possible. And then when it's, peak season, like that's when it's go time, right? Turn on the marketing, turn on the ads, do everything you can to maximize your sales. Number two is make sure to study the data, right? So you need to know, like, when is the drop off happen typically for your niche, right? So there's if you're just getting into a new seasonal product and you haven't seen it in full, then there are some ways that you can try to get that data. So number one would be Google Trends can be a good way to see how, the search volume and just trends of different niches and keywords trend over time, month over month. So that's a good place to start. You can also look at, Amazon sales data using things like Helium 10 and Jungle Scout. So make sure to take screenshots, maybe take screenshots in, peak summer, June, and then make sure to set recurring reminders so that, each month, maybe take another screenshot of all the competition. What are sales volumes of everybody? And you can add them up and, just sort of track it on your own over time. And you'll see, the total sales volume might be, 12 million in the month of May versus February. In total, all the competitors may only be doing 3 million. So it would be really useful to track that over time. Is just another side tip. Next, I want to talk about is look for opportunities in your off season, right? So once that peak season's over and now you're in your off season, what can you do? So Amazon's a great example, right? So they created Amazon Prime Day because before, Amazon had huge sales growth in Q4, right? Because that's just the biggest buying season, with Black Friday, with Cyber Monday, and those are national, those are international, just consumer holidays, right? And then Christmas and all the other holidays that just tend to be in Q4 and just maximize, purchasing and buying and gifting. So Amazon saw that and they were definitely taking advantage, but they knew that they had lulls, right? And one of their lulls was in the middle of the year around July. And what they did is they literally invented their own holiday, right? Called Amazon Prime Day to diversify their own business. And now Amazon Prime Day is basically almost as big, or if not bigger, than than Black Friday and some of those holidays. So obviously Prime Day has been delayed this year, unfortunately, because of COVID. It looks like Amazon Prime Day is going to be at least in October of this year, was the last that I saw. But you should still plan accordingly for that, right? So make sure you guys are planning ahead, just as a side tip for that, because you still need to ship in inventory well in advance. But getting a little bit off track, I wanted to give you that tip. So look for ways to maximize, your promotions. You can create your own promotions in the off season, right? When it's not peak season, but you can run bigger discounts, bigger sales, whether it's, Father's Day, or just find different holidays that are out there and just create sales and promotions around those times, similar to what Amazon does, right? They just maximize every major, discount holiday, or any holiday. They just make an excuse to run sales. So that's another great tip. One other thing you might want to look into is going international. So I would definitely recommend this if you're super seasonal. Looking at the international markets and countries where they have opposite seasons. So one example is like Australia is the opposite of the US, I believe, right? It's like when it's summer here in the United States, it's winter there, and then vice versa. So in our winter in the US, it's actually the summer in Australia. And so we've actually had some clients do that, where we've helped them to sell on Amazon Australia's platform. And there's a lot less competition on Amazon Australia. They even do Shopify and Facebook ads in Australia, and the competition is way less over there. And they're able to, really break into that market in a big way and sell a lot of goods in Australia, especially during the peak season. So it really helps them to, get consistent sales throughout the year. Another example would be if you're selling barbecue supplies, like outdoor barbecue patios type stuff. If that's your niche, another thing you can do is expand your product selection and your product arsenal to not be limited to just that season of products. You may have an awesome, a really great product that is crushing it seasonality wise, but how can you expand? So let's say you have a barbecue brush that crushes it during those 3 summer months, but then it really dies off. Well, what would be a related product that your customers still might want? Maybe it would be a brush that could help clean pots and pans indoors, right? So find indoor cooking supplies and cookware and accessories, right? So just think outside the box and think, how else can I serve? Who is my customer already? Who's that ideal customer? And then what else do they need, right? They need other stuff other than just those summer products, right? And so, just thinking about how to diversify your products to not be all seasonal. So hopefully it's okay if you have some seasonal products, but hopefully you have some year-round products, right? That really help diversify your revenue streams and help even out the curve of your income throughout the year. Because it's really hard to manage your cash flow. It's really hard to manage inventory when you only have 3 to 4 months to really sell through it and make money, because it is very risky it's riskier to be in that business as opposed to a year-round product. And so if you're already in the seasonal business, it might be time just to start diversifying and start trying to find year-round products that complement hopefully your same existing customer and your brand. And that's a great way to expand your products and your business and diversify it and grow your sales to the next level. So those are just a few tips that I wanted to cover. I hope that some of those apply to your business, and I hope it's very helpful for you guys. If you guys want any, customized support as far as us coming up with a customized game plan, or looking at your niche and helping come up with product ideas for what would be a good place to grow your product line next, or what are some ways for your particular scenario, right? As if you're selling sunglasses versus barbecue equipment versus, ski wear or snowboarding gear, it's going to be a very different challenge for you. And that's what we really need to do with our clients, is look at their individual business and come up with a customized plan to help them, meet their goals and grow their business the right way. So if that's you and you'd like to get some one-on-one help, head over to turnkeyproductmanagement.com/call, and we would be happy to take a look and see if there's a way that we could help. And if not, hopefully you'll at least walk away with some value from that call, and let us know how it goes. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope that you guys are all staying safe out there. It's crazy times right now, and it's just good to connect, and we'll see you guys very soon. Thank you.